Hello, I'm the nostalgic Nutcase. I'm remembered against my own free will. Well, guys, it looks like we have another direct-to-video sequel on our hands, and surprisingly, it's to a Disney movie. Granted, I already talked about this in my Return to Jafar review, but I didn't exactly talk about it in depth. In fact, I was a bit more, God, shoot me! Why would Disney create a crappy direct-to-video sequel to Aladdin? Why would Disney create direct-to-video sequels to every single freaking movie from the Disney Renaissance and movies that are over 50 years old? Yeah, I was a raging asshole. Anyway, here's the long and short of it. Back in the 90s, when Disney films were becoming successful again, some people at Disney decided it would be a great idea to make sequels to these films in order to cash in on their popularity. Well, okay, it wasn't a good idea, but it was definitely an ingenious idea. I mean, think about it. If you were a kid from the 90s and you freaking loved these films and you found out that they were making sequels to them, I mean, wouldn't you be excited? You know, before you actually watched them? And so, throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, they made a ton of sequels. And not just to the Renaissance films, but also some of the classic ones from the 50s. But we'll get to those eventually. Right now we're just focusing on Lion King 2. God, this thing's huge. So the sequel starts out with all the copies! I love copies. They're like God's Galador figures. Well, anyway, all the animals gather at Pride Rock to celebrate. Oh, man. Okay. What do you guys notice about the opening to this movie and the original movie?
The chemical composition between the two samples was found to be identical.
Identical. Well, then again, they are starting with the first one left off, but really, the only difference between this and the first movie is the song they play. Is it any good?
He lives in you. He lives in me. He watches over.
Well, good enough to be included in the stage musical. Anyway, this little cub is named Kiara, and since this is Lion King 2, Simba's pride, it's not hard to deduce who the parents are. A few years later, Kiara has grown into an adventurous young lioness.
Wow!
Whoa! Where do you think you're going in such a hurry?
Daddy! Let go!
Well, I just want you to be careful. Kiara, are you listening? Accidents can happen. You could easily get hurt or
stepped on, or even get lost. And not to mention tossed, squashed, and scared practically to death.
As you've probably noticed, this sequel actually tried to get the whole main cast from the first movie, like Nathan Lane, Ernie Sabella, Robert the Rafiki, Matthew Broderick,
Bueller,
and even James Earl Jones. So Kiara goes off to explore, as Simba tells Timon and Pumbaa to follow her.
Aha!
Mighty hunter has cornered her prey.
You are your father's daughter. Kiara gets to the borders of the Outlands as Timon and Pumbaa drop in.
Don't worry, Kiara. Uncle Pumbaa's coming. Kiara.
Pumbaa, let me define babysitting.
Ha! So Timon and Pumbaa try to introduce Kiara to delicious grubs, but sadly the monarch is not pleased.
Ruffs. The other white meat.
What does that even mean?
But you can't tell from the outside which are the real slimy ones.
Slimy, Pumbaa, my corpulent compadre. It's the crunchy ones that make the meal.
Slimy, crunchy, slimy, crunchy, slimy, crunchy, slimy, crunchy, slimy, crunchy.
So while Timon and Pumbaa are having their intelligent debate, Kiara sneaks off into the Outlands and meets a new friend.
Who are you, Pridelander? What are you doing? My father says to never turn your back on an outsider. You always do what Daddy says? No, bet you do. bet your daddy's little girl. An outsider doesn't need anybody. I take care of myself. Really? Cool.
Look out behind you, kid!
Look out! Move it!
So they escape the alligators, and the cubs formally introduce themselves.
You were really brave. Yeah, you were pretty brave too. My name's Kovu. I'm Kiara.
But of course, their parents come in to bicker and toss around the exposition ball.
Zira.
Simba. Timon. Pumbaa. Great. Now that we all know each other. Get out of Pride Land!
These lands belong to Scar.
I banished you from the Pride Lands. Now you and your young cub, get out.
So apparently Scar had his own pride at some point, but since the Outlands suck, he wanted to take over Mufasa's Pride Lands. And Zira was Scar's, love cat, who is voiced by...
Your name belongs to me now. Oh, haven't you met my son, Kovu?
Well, actually, he's adopted, but they explain that later. So the Pride Landers go back to Pride Rock, but Simba talks to Kiara about the facts of life. Through song, of course.
As you go through life, you'll see there is so much that we don't understand. And the only thing we know is things don't always go the way we planned. Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout.
Well, okay, Matthew Broderick doesn't actually sing in it, but the song's good anyway. Meanwhile, on Arrakis...
Kovu. Scar wasn't even his father. He just took him in.
See? Told you.
Oh, hey, Tawny. Where's little termite Kovu?
The chosen one.
So, Kovu is the Kwisatz Haderach? This eldest of Scar's children is named Nuka, played by Andy Dick. Andy Dick is in a Disney movie.
Oh, yeah, you're not afraid, huh?
Well, anyway, Zira brings back Kovu and forges a master plan.
You thought you'd get to the daughter, and Simba would welcome you with open arms? What an idea! What an idea!
So your plan is to have Kovu infiltrate the Pride Landers by making friends with Kiara, therefore leaving Simba open to attack. That's brilliant!
Brilliant! Brilliant!
I am serious. That is what I call putting an awesome twist to the classic Romeo and Juliet scenario. Bravo, writers, bravo! So Zira puts Kovu to sleep and sings a demented lullaby.
The sound of Simba's dying gasp. His daughter squealing in my grasp. His lioness's mournful cry. That's my lullaby.
Another good song? What is up with this movie? It's like they put effort into it. Meanwhile, Rafiki is asking the spirit of Mufasa what to do about Kiara and Kovu.
I'm very worried, Mufasa. Things are not going well, no? You have a plan? What? Kovu? Kiara? Together? This is the plan? Are you crazy? This will never work. Oh, Mufasa, you've been up there too long. Your head is in the clouds. Okay. All right, okay. I don't think this is going to work. But I trust you. I just hope you know what you are doing.
A couple of years later, Kiara has grown to adulthood and is going on her first hunt. By the way, has anyone else noticed that Simba is the only adult male in his pride? Well, for those of you who don't know, which is probably a lot of you, in the average pride, there's really only one adult male and, like, 6 adult females, and if you do your math right, technically Simba and Nala are half-siblings.
Ew, gross!
No. That may sound gross, but remember, these are lions. This is what they naturally do, and begrudging them for polygamy and incest is like begrudging a black widow for eating her husband. Although it is kind of funny how the writers for this movie try to avoid the whole incest issue by making Kiara the only cub in her pride and by making Kovu adopted. So while Kiara is hunting, and sucking at it, we cut to an adult Kovu being mission briefed by his foster mom.
What is your destiny?
I will avenge Scar.
Hey, I know that voice!
Guys, stop fighting! Can we please just pick what our Dimsdale Founders Day float's gonna be?
My only chance, Peach. To Roxanne, I'm just a nobody.
Don't be afraid. I'm Master Haku.
Wow. 2 actors from Spirited Away.
Yes. What have I taught you?
Simba is the enemy.
And what must you do?
I must kill him.
And so they set their land on fire. Kiara gets caught in the flames and, as you've guessed, Kovu rescues her. But he isn't exactly thanked at first.
Where am I?
You're safe. In the Pride Lands.
The Pride Lands? No! Why'd you bring me here? Who do you think you are?
I think I'm the one that just saved your life.
Look, I had everything under control.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Then move downwind.
What are you doing?
Kovu?
Hey, what you doing, mister? You gonna suck her blood, empty your tank, turn her into one of your legion of zombie vampires who only live to do your evil bidding? Or are you just gonna make out and play kissy face and hope your dad doesn't butt in and ground you, huh? How about it, mister?
Kiara!
Hey! You! How dare you save the king's daughter?
You saved her? Why? I humbly ask to join your pride.
No! You were banished with the other outsiders.
I have left the outsiders. I'm a rogue.
You liar!
Judge me now for who I am. Or am I to be blamed for a crime I didn't commit?
My father's law will prevail. For now, I reserve judgment. We'll see who you really are.
So they go back to Pride Rock where Simba basically tells Kovu he has to sleep outside. During the night, Simba has a flashback to the first film while also having a premonition. The next morning, Kiara tries to work on her hunting.
3, 2, 1.
Gotcha!
And sucking at it. Later on, Kiara and Kovu are laying in the grass looking at the stars.
You ready? Oh, look. There's one that looks like a baby rabbit. See the fluffy tail?
Yeah. Hey, there's one that looks like 2 lions killing each other for a scrap of meat. I've never done this before.
So he falls in love with her even though he's supposed to be fighting for his side. Nah.
And where are you going?
No. Nowhere.
Ha! That's what you think.
Who was that?
Friend of the family.
You follow! You see! Hurry now!
And so Rafiki leads them into another song sequence.
There's a place where the crazy moon makes the monkeys sing and the baboons swoon. And
In Hunter Thompson Safari.
where the passion fruit grows sweet. And it's so divine that you lose your mind as it sweeps you off your feet.
Stop. So, is love so powerful that it's like some form of super meth? I don't get it! Help me! So after you pendy, Simba lets Kovu sleep in the cave. much to the dismay of Zira. The next morning, Simba talks to Kovu about Scar and his evil but are soon ambushed by the outsiders.
Well done, Kovu. Just like we always planned.
You! No! I didn't have anything to do with this!
So the outsiders chase Simba and Kovu to some logjam thing, and Andy Dick here tries to go after his not brother and in turn gets killed.
You!
Symbolism!
Nuka is dead because of you! No. You've killed your own brother!
No!
Let him go. Simba has hurt me for the last time. Now he has corrupted Kovu. Listen to me. Simba is injured and weak. Now is the time to attack. We will take his entire kingdom by force.
No poor cat ever won a war by dying for her pride. She won it by making the other poor cat die for her pride. So Kovu goes back to the Pride Lands, which immediately results in the most famous song in the movie.
Deception, disgrace, evil is plain as the scar on his face. Deception, and outrage, disgrace, for shame.
He asked for trouble the moment he came.
After losing her boyfriend, Kiara isn't exactly happy with her father.
You don't know him!
I know he's following in Scar's paw prints. And I must follow in my father's.
You will never be Mufasa!
Do it again.
So Kiara runs away to find Kovu, leading into, well, in my opinion, the worst song in the movie.
They know love will find a way anywhere we go.
Look, it's just my opinion, but this song is just sappy and cheesy. The lyrics are annoying and it's just nothing more than pure concentrated cliche. Anyway, Kiara and Kovu reunite and talk about what they're gonna do next.
Let's get out of here. We'll run away together and start a pride all our own.
Yes, you're a dirty little kitty, aren't you? Just a dirty, dirty little kitty. Yes, you are. You're Oh, yeah.
But instead, they decide to go back. Meanwhile, the two prides finally go to war.
Open the eye! Break his jaw! Hit him low! Get them! Do what you must!
So Kiara and Kovu break up the fight, and Kiara talks about how we are one, the prides should merge, you know, cliched stuff.
But they...
Them? Us. Look at them. They are us. What differences do you see?
Well, their fur is a bit darker and their eyes are a bit more yellow, but I see your point. But Zero will have none of Kiara's crap. Is it just me, or does the music sound like Pirates of the Caribbean? Anyway, Kiara tries to save Zero, but Zero would rather swim with the fishes. So Kiara and Kovu are married, I guess. The prides come together, and they all live, well, you know.
Well done, my son. We are one.
So basically what we have here is a direct-to-video Disney sequel that's actually good. Hard to believe, but yeah. The animation's decent, most of the songs are good, the voice acting is good, and the story is like a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, much like how the first movie was a retelling of Hamlet. So all around, it's not that bad. Or it could be because I just didn't love Lion King so much that I would basically hate every single attempt at a sequel to follow after it. You know, kind of like how I am with Hunchback of Notre Dame.